Hi, I'm Yrjo Ojasaar. I'm the founder and investment partner at Change Ventures, a venture capital fund that invests into ambitious Baltic founders. Term sheet is an important step in your investment process. This little love note from the investors means they're ready to take it to the next level. Your relationship is about to get serious. There are 5 key parts to the term sheet. First and most important is the investment size. This is the amount of money that the investors are willing to give you in this round. Next, investment valuation. This is the valuation that the investors are putting on your company right now. In other words, if you do the math, this will tell you what share percentage of your company they want in return. Next, it's the round size. What size is this whole round going to be? Not just this investor's money, but all the other co-investors that will take part. Next, is this an equity or a convertible note transaction? This denotes what kind of a legal documentation will be done in order to do this transaction. And finally, confidentiality. Is this a confidential term sheet? If it is, you will not be able to shop this around. If it's not, you can go to other investors and ask if they will match or exceed the terms offered in this term sheet. At Change Ventures, we used standard term sheets. They're available for all of you on the internet. But still, I looked over this yesterday, and there's quite a few legal terms that creep into this document. First, fully diluted. This means that the shares that the investor is about to buy are post every other type of conversion, including your creation of the option pool. To make it clear, the option pool comes out of your pocket, not the investor pocket. Liquidation preference. The usual term for the liquidation preference is 1x. That means that you're going to give the investor back 1x times the money that he invested. Sometimes the investors will ask for 2x or 3x. What that means is they're essentially asking for their money back 3 times over before you see 1 cent. I would avoid this kind of a term. Anti-dilution. Anti-dilution is a protection for investors. What happens if the next round you're not as successful as this time around, and in fact, the value of your company goes down? The investors are asking under anti-dilution to get basically upgraded to the next round's valuation. Pro rata and super pro rata, of course, like I said, lawyers will always want to get a little bit of Latin involved. So pro rata to normal people means your share, equal to your share. So in other words, you have the right to invest in the next round the same share that you have in this round. Reverse vesting. This is a term to protect the investors from the founders leaving, dropping the company, or becoming inactive. Basically, all of the founder's shares are going to be subject to vesting. There's usually a 3-year vesting period. So the founder, in order to get all of his shares, will have to stay for the full 3-year period, because we, the investors, are just a minority shareholder. We can't run your company. One of the most popular questions I get is, are term sheets binding? Well, my usual answer is maybe. First of all, morally, term sheets are pretty much binding on investors. If they go ahead and issue a term sheet, they will usually follow through and make an investment unless something drastic comes up during due diligence. But technically and legally, what really matters in court, they're not binding, except for the specific clauses that are designated as binding. The way that you know that they're binding is because the clauses will say, this clause is binding. All the other clauses are not legally binding. Investors' motivation in issuing a term sheet to the founders is to clearly communicate their offer, so there's no confusion later on what terms the investor was willing to offer with their investment. This is why they outline all of the basic terms. They don't get into details, but the key terms will all be in there. Once the term sheet is issued and signed by you, the investors will know that it's now time to go to due diligence, and they will usually send this signed term sheet to their lawyers to also start preparing the investment documents. When receiving your term sheet, the founders really need to get some help. First of all, legal help, because there's going to be terms in there that you won't understand, and the lawyers have dealt with this many times over. So get the smart people at a law firm that's familiar with startups to take a look at your term sheet. But also, get some business help. Talk to some other founders who've received and signed term sheets before. They've been through the process. They have a lot to offer and can give you a lot of good advice. Now that you're ready to sign your term sheet, congratulations. You're 9/10 of the way there. You're about to start a new chapter in the growth of your company.